both of us just laughing.
PR. Oh, I cannot. This is too much. Clearly, really all.
Rising in the dark, the sun took orders. Faith in the veins, like the blood of the martyrs. Walking through the storm with the armor of light. Blessed in the darkness, soul ignites.
We're good.
Hey guys, I'm Nat.
And I'm Jess.
And this is the next episode in our series of trying to help you guys in any way that we can, spiritually, mentally, physically. So we hope that you can use this as a tool moving forward as a member of our gym and not a member of the gym.
Yeah, all YouTubers.
Yeah, so today is a little bit different. We don't necessarily have a topic, so what are we talking about?
We're going to talk about the Open, because it's coming up. T-minus less than a week.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Only a few more sleeps till the Open.
Yeah.
So just kind of more of a fun podcast from us, I guess you could say. We're really excited about the Open. Hopefully getting you guys a little more excited about the Open.
Yes.
We have it set up a little different this year. We're going to be doing teams. We have captains. We have themes. If you haven't seen the themes, this first week is going to be neon night. So wear all black with a little neon pop on there. It's going to be a fun Friday night lights.
It's a party.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, but before we get started, high-low Buffalo.
Hello, Buffalo. All right. I guess I'll just continue to go first.
Yeah.
Lead the way. I'm older. It's fine. All right. I'll go in the order. High, low, Buffalo. So I feel like I had a bunch of highs this week. It was good. I got some good test results health-wise, so clean bill of health. That's always nice. And then I worked out with Assassins like randomly because we had that snow day thing. And Rain came up to me in the class and had some really kind words to say about us and our podcast. So thanks, Rain. And if you guys say nice stuff to us, you'll probably end up on our podcast.
Yeah.
But seriously, it was very encouraging.
So please say nice stuff to us, but really.
Yeah. But that was
But no,
super
she said something to me too. I really appreciated that.
So, thanks, Rain. Brightened our day. Low. I didn't really have like the super low this week, which is nice.
So you did not go to the grocery store.
I didn't go to the grocery store. It's so true. On purpose. Maybe next week. Stay tuned. But so Travis went to the grocery store last week, and I guess like milk and eggs are kind of like a premium right now.
Oh, they are.
So, yeah.
Yes.
So there were only like two. We were getting like the gallon ones, and we were getting two because the snow was coming up. And they only had ones that like the lids were smashed in, like, which I'm like, all right, well, as long as the seals are broken, I guess it's safe to use. But I went to open them, and it's so hard to pour. Like, just like pull up in the top of it. So I've been doing like a gangster pour of milk this week, like sideways. Here you go, Debbie.
I didn't even know a gangster pour was a thing.
Yeah, so normally you pour like this, right? I went through like. Anyways,
okay.
Yeah.
I learned something today.
Yeah, gangster pour milk. And then buffalo. If that's not a buffalo enough, I'll give you another one. So, like I said, we didn't go to the grocery store, but we do have bedtime every night, and that is sometimes very chaotic. But sometimes they reach the point where it's like they're not tired anymore, like they go past the tired through to crazy, and so they had reached that point. And Hannah and Abby Jo share a room, and Hannah is like running around. She has this like Gatorade water bottle, like the reusable ones, and she starts doing chest compressions on it. She's like, I'm gonna save your life. So she's saving her water bottle's life. And then I bring Debbie Sue in to say goodnight to him, and Abby Jo is being like kind of sweet, which is not always what she does at bedtime. She's reading this book my mom had given her, and Debbie Sue, I'm holding her, reaches over and flips off the light, and all I hear is Abby Jo go, "Daggone it!" It was so funny, because Travis totally says that all the time.
Oh, that's hilarious.
She was so mad, but that's my buffalo.
I like it.
Yeah, there you go.
Fun little buffalo.
Yeah.
All right, high-low Buffalo for me. So I'm going to start with low. I am going on like week 5 of being sick right now, and it's just tampering with my mood. So that's just my low in general. I just cannot get over this. I had the flu, and it will not leave me alone.
Yeah.
So that would be my low. I feel like trash.
So if somebody has health advice
Texas
for her,
trash,
put it in
if
the
you
comments. Yeah, Texas trash. That's her Wildhammer name if you didn't know that.
So that's my low. My high, however, because yesterday was a rare day where I did not feel horrible, at least for half of it. Shout out to Coach Ronnie. I feel like he's just been giving me a lot of really good feedback. Some extra things to work on. The engine class is like my favorite thing in the world. So 7:30 a.m. on Saturdays, show up to that engine class.
Yeah.
But yesterday, I had a really good day where I was hitting movements like in bigger sets than I normally do. I was hitting weights more comfortably, like these weights that are normally super heavy felt really smooth yesterday. And then I even PR'd my clean yesterday after the WOD.
Yeah, and then like a 40-minute workout.
And so it just was like, I was like, oh, I feel good. And then something happened and I crashed the rest of the day and felt just terrible. But in the morning during that class, I felt really good. And I just thank Coach Ronnie for taking extra interest in helping me develop there. Yeah. And then my buffalo. So I like to do these super wild challenges that I don't think through. And I just say, hey, Jess, we should do this. And
let's do it. I don't know what it is.
every year I try to support some challenge that Mission 22 does. They raise money for veteran mental health. And so I try to do one of their challenges every year. This year they had a row 22,000 meters throughout the month of February. And I looked at Jess and I said, how do you feel about doing this in one day?
I was like, sure, it's a terrible idea, but yes, let's do it.
And then we had 4 other people do it with us. So we did split it as a team. So I did 1,000, she did 1,000 back and forth. It took about an hour and a half, a little more than an hour and a half. And so we just rode for an hour and a half right before doing this podcast.
Yes.
If we sound delirious, we are.
That's why,
But yeah, big shout out to the other 4 people who did it. So we had Coach Liz, Coach Shelley, and then our members Nick and Mateo, who all did it with us. All 22,000 meters.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really fun.
It was fun. It was like mentally hard, I think more so than physically hard.
Yes.
But it was like a cool thing to do with other people.
Absolutely. And supporting veterans, especially on the mental health side, is a big thing for me and on my heart. And so that meant a lot too, seeing other people coming out and supporting something that means a lot to me and supporting that cause.
Yeah, that's it. If you didn't participate in the ruck, do it next year because that's a big veteran thing to do. And the Mission 22 does a bunch of little cool challenges. My sister did a row, I think, on her own at home.
Yeah, probably not all in one day.
I hope not. Courtney, don't do that.
So that's my buffalo.
Yeah, that's cool buffalo.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right, moving on, talking about the Open 2025. So first thing I'd like for us to talk about, just for funsies, predictions on what 25.1 is going to be.
25.1 is. But yes, Travis would be bear crawl and softball toss. That would be.
Listen, I think we should have winner and loser. Whoever's closer, the loser has to do something.
Oh.
Pie to the face.
Okay. I mean,
don't even think that. Okay.
Okay. Well, listen. So here's my thought. Does this have to be like the first workout or just any workout?
No, this is 25.1.
0.1. Okay. I'm gonna go devil's press because I feel like that is a movement we can incorporate into the Open pretty easily, and then pair it with toes to bar. So you have kind of like the conflicting movements, complementary, I guess, because they're using the anterior and posterior, but. Could be something else in there, but I'm saying devil's press and toes to bar within that workout.
Okay, so couplet.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it as like a triplet, but those
Well, if it's a triplet, what's the third movement?
Like a row.
Row?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're thinking it's going to be a triplet? You got to nail this down.
I'm
We have winners and losers now.
All right. I'm going with couplet.
Couplet? Yep. Okay. I also think it's going to be a couplet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it is. But I'm going with wall walks and overhead walking lunge. I do think that it's going to be something with the dumbbell. The only reason I don't think it's going to be on the rig is I would hate to see the rig the first week in case people rip their hands in some way.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if Dave
I'm going to go with
cares that much about
it. Probably not, but that's why I'm just trying to will it into
existence.
Into existence.
That would be nice, yeah.
So I'm going with wall walks and overhead walking lunge. Plus, I think that would just be a super fun and terrible combination.
Yeah.
So
that is awful. But good job.
Yeah.
So I think it's worth mentioning like the ones that have shown up recently. There's a chart here. But in every Open, there's been muscle ups, double unders, and thrusters. So you can count on there being thrusters. Usually it's towards the back end of the Open.
Yeah.
With, kind of like a Franish thing or maybe just one long grinder. Something that feels absolutely terrible.
Yes.
Is usually what the Open ends with. And then pull-ups are a close second, burpees, toes to bar. Those are all like almost every Open.
Yeah.
But muscle ups, double unders, and thrusters. We've been working on double unders in our gym, so hopefully you got those.
I think those are coming in week 2.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. That's my prediction.
There was a repeat this year. They announced that one of them was going to be a repeat. There's a ton of thruster workouts they could repeat. One was double unders and thrusters, so it could be that. I hope it's not.
That would be terrible.
Although I would like to compare. So that's one of the reasons we encourage you to do the open is you can compare.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice to see if I've gotten better at double unders.
I bet you have, because just in this 1 year that I've known you, you've
Well,
already
slightly better.
Yeah.
But my thrusters.
No, you've gotten so much better. That was the one thing I could beat you in, and
No,
now I
no,
can't.
no.
So yes.
Talk about this. You beat me in many things. But I'm not sure my thrusters are what they used to be. But
yeah, that would be. I do support keeping score in general, but especially in the open. Like if you don't keep score the rest of the year, but you keep score in the open,
It's
at
3
least
weeks.
do that.
It's 3 workouts. You can do it.
It's so good for you.
Yes.
But yeah, so those are our predictions, and then we'll add next week's predictions next week,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
So talking about thinking back on like your previous years, do you have any fun memories, fun stories, or like highlights from previous opens?
There's some fun memories, some from competing and some not. One of the ones that Travis was talking about one the other day, I kind of forgot about where we used to do face-offs in here on Thursday nights, so we would all watch it on like the screen. It was cool. I don't know if I could do it now because it's kind of a late night. We got kids. But we would watch it, and then 2 or more people would actually do the workout in front of all of us. Like a face-off is intense and fun. But there was one year, Travis did it with a guy named Mark. It doesn't go here. Two bigger guys, right? And it was the year that it was like dumbbell snatches and burpee box jump overs. So you see like these guys rolling through this workout, and Travis says, I think Luke was judging them, and says, man, you got a minute left. You just got to go. So Travis sends it and beats the guy by 1 rep. And then Kurt brings out fake money and starts making it rain all over him. I totally forgot about that. But before that workout, I was like newly pregnant with Hannah, and nobody knew. So Kurt wanted to announce it, so that was kind of a special.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. The face-offs were kind of cool. Nerve-inducing for a lot of us, but they were cool. I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, I think back on my very first open. I started CrossFit 6 years ago, I think. And I had a very negative view of CrossFit. Like, I had the very stereotypical, like, these are just beef heads and horrible people. Yeah, you're going to hurt yourself. And I started in, it was like November, something like that. So I'd only been doing CrossFit like a couple of months before I did this or whatever. And I was so nervous and I was so scared. And then at the end, like, it's like this, if you've never shown up to Friday Night Lights, it's a party.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. You're competing and you're doing workouts, but everyone else is having a party.
Yeah.
There's like music, there are themes, people dress up, like all this stuff. And then at the end of, I think that year was still 5 weeks when I started. Yeah, it was 5 weeks. Yeah, so it was like 5 weeks of doing this. And I still had in my mind that like CrossFitters don't eat or drink anything that is not purely from the earth. Our owner of the gym comes out with a bottle of vodka and was like, who's ready to celebrate the open being over? And I was like, this is not what I imagined.
What did I sign up for?
But it was so much fun. Like, everyone's working toward the same goal. It's cool thinking about how you're competing literally against people across the entire world.
Yeah.
And then you come out and celebrate because you've done this thing that you never would have done on your own.
Yes.
I never, ever would have done that on my own.
And it just puts you in like a different zone, and I just love it so much. And the community thing is just like, unrivaled.
Yes.
So I like it.
Hearing people cheer on other people like getting their muscle up for the first time, but it's like people cheering on that entire time and like celebrating and every time you go up to try that move, like people are like waiting in anticipation to see if it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's fun, and I have good memories as a coach too, like seeing people do things for the first time, or as an athlete, we've had some coaches that aren't here anymore, but I just have a vivid memory of I was like first year of the open, so fairly new to CrossFit, and I hit a clean and jerk that I didn't think I could hit. And I just remember this coach like jumping up in the air, like getting like air under her feet, celebrating. Yeah. For me, it was like, oh, I didn't know you cared that much. Like, it's cool to see people celebrating.
Oh, it's such a cool atmosphere.
Yeah, I love using it as a coach because I feel like I can draw stuff out of people that they don't know is there.
Yes.
I like to do that anyways, but the open gives like extra motivation and ability to do that, I think, as a coach.
Absolutely. And I love, I always feel like toward the end they have a more like high skilled movement, and seeing people get those for the first time, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And if you haven't done the open before, how it works is they release the workout on Thursday, And then every class time that we have, that's the workout you're doing on Friday.
Mhm.
So like you're doing the open workout anyway.
Yes.
So you might as well shine up. But then, if you want to have it be really fun, you come to Friday Night Lights. And even if you're not doing the workout, like if you want to do it during your normal class time, if that's more comfortable for you, that's fine. But you should at least come out to Friday Night Lights and see the atmosphere of like people celebrating and having the crowd. I know, like I normally do my workout earlier in the day. Just I prefer that.
Yeah.
But I still will come out to Friday Night Lights to
cheer people
judge
on
and cheer and
enjoy the atmosphere.
Yeah,
It's fun. Yeah. We should celebrate something. It's fun.
yeah, celebrate more.
Yes.
Let's all celebrate.
Yes, I agree.
All right, so moving into the open, we all know like that's the format, comes out on Friday. How should we be preparing physically and mentally leading up to it?
Yeah, let's start with like physical. I think prioritizing some things the best you can. I have 3 kids that impact my sleep and a psycho dog. So, but the best you can, try to prioritize getting sleep, eating well, hydrating. Like you said, maybe cut back on the Mick Ultras for a few days, if that's your thing. But putting in good stuff so you get good stuff out, and just see what happens.
Yes.
Food yourself appropriately. And
Be kind to your body so your body can be kind to you.
That's right.
What I like to say.
yes, yeah, hydration, nutrition, sleep. Those are important.
Absolutely.
And you'll see there's a little bit of tapering that's going to go on with our programming.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in the programming
and-
too. Yeah. So, I completely agree. I think sleep, in my opinion, is the most important. Like, obviously, you gotta gauge what you're eating and drinking throughout the week, but I feel like most people who are coming to the gym regularly have a pretty good idea of that.
Yeah.
Sleep is something that none of us prioritize ever.
Not enough of this.
And so this is a really good week to really try to hanker down and make sure you're rested,
Yeah.
so you can feel as good as possible going into that workout.
Yeah, give yourself the best chance.
Yeah.
Yep.
It also helps emotionally. Like it is emotional going and competing in front of a judge.
Yeah.
And so when you are well rested, it helps you handle that aspect
Yeah,
as
handle
well.
the stress better.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
What about mentally?
Mentally, well, like I just said, sleep I think affects the
that's
physical
your
side,
mental,
but it
yeah.
also helps the mental side. Like
For sure.
feeling rested, feeling capable to take on the stress, and then handling the stress of maybe you did or did not get the score that you wanted. I think also setting goals that are not related to your score heading in. We talked to Coach Shelley the other day, and one of her goals is to be okay with failure, and I think that is like the coolest goal that someone can have.
Yeah.
And I would love to see us mentally as members and as a gym as a whole, like start celebrating failure a little more. Because failure means that you put forth effort towards something that you really were not confident if you were going to be able to do or not.
Yeah.
And that alone should be celebrated.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I told you, I think we could do a whole podcast on reframing failure
yes.
and seeing it as something that is, you shouldn't avoid it and maybe is even necessary in some aspects.
Yeah. I remember my first open, I did not want to do it at all. I didn't want to do any of the workouts. But one of my really good friends there who was a coach, she talked me into it. And one of the things, I wrote down some of the stuff that I learned from that first open I participated in. And one of them was I viewed failure as something totally different. Where before it was like this scary thing, where this was now a testament of effort rather than a lack of being able to perform.
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself of that frequently, but I still hold to that of like, if you fail, that doesn't mean that you're a failure.
Yeah.
If you fail, it means that you're doing something bigger than what you are, which is
Yes.
a good thing.
Yeah, you're being vulnerable and stretching yourself a little bit, and it challenges you. And maybe I fail at something, and then like I want to do that in the coming months, then I can set some more goals, and gives me some direction there. But also, what you said, not finding your identity in like your failures or successes. I think that's crucial too. I think we're gonna talk about that a little bit.
Yes.
As far as
So
why.
so mentally, as we approach the first workout, really get that mindset of like, if you fail, that is a good thing.
Yeah.
Like that is what we want to push you to the point of finding that breaking point and
failure.
finding that failure point, and then celebrate it.
Yes.
Celebrate that you got to that point and you kind of
Absolutely.
figured out where it is.
That's what I was going to say too. I feel like the open is almost a celebration of the fitness
Yes.
world in some sorts, because you're working so hard all year, and like it's, like we talked about. I think Rich Roding said, "What's the point of fitness if you're not using it? Like if you're not doing stuff like competitions or a race or helping your neighbor move or something. Like you got all this fitness, use it.
Yeah.
You know, we've been working so hard. We
I
can celebrate
love
it.
that.
Yeah.
Gauge how far you've come.
Yes.
And, we talked about this in our very, very, very first episode, was knowing your why. I said that so long ago, like we knew this for years. This is episode 9. So
December.
But
Back in the day.
way back when we were youngsters.
But really, I love that kind of set the stage for everything. Our first episode.
It
If you haven't
really
watched that,
did.
Yeah.
And so, as you go into the open, remember why you're doing this. And there are little reasons, there are big reasons, and then our ultimate reason is to bring glory to God.
Yes.
Like that's what we've talked about this entire time.
Yeah.
And so your response to these workouts, your response to training throughout the year, like these are all reasons to bring glory to God. And these are all ways that you can do that. So I think that's a really good mindset to kind of practice as well going into this.
I love that you see me smiling because I love that kind of stuff so much.
I know, she's like, I wish like people could see like a zoom in on your face. Like she's cheesing so hard.
I love it. Like it's so good. This is what we were made for. You know, to enjoy God and bring Him glory and point people to Him. Like it's so cool. I was talking to you a little bit, you know, going deep a little bit about like what people will remember after I'm gone or whenever. But like they're not going to remember that I was 10,000th in the world in the open. Hopefully not, at least. But like they'll remember how I responded to adversity, how I treated them,
How you made them feel.
Yeah, how I made them feel. Like that's a cool thing and gives a bigger purpose than like a score.
Yes.
You know.
So remember that also, like not just as the person who's working out, but the person who's celebrating other people working out, and how you're treating those people. Like you have a great platform right now to be able to show God to others as well.
Yeah.
So
it's cool.
You can experience it, but you can also show it.
Yes. What a cool that we get to do it through CrossFit.
Yeah.
Like that's the cool. It has not gotten old. Like I've been thinking about that for 10, 11 years since I started CrossFit, whatever. It doesn't get old.
Yeah.
It just gets better. So I love it.
I don't know how, but your smile keeps getting bigger. Like
this is what gets me going. I'm ready now. Let's start the open. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Any other things you want to throw in there for that before we go into the actual programming for the week?
No, I think that's the gist of it. Like, you know, have fun.
Have fun.
Yeah. Be able to laugh and celebrate and be thankful for what God's given you to do.
Yeah. And you're gonna be nervous. Like I'm a nervous Nancy when it comes to stuff like this. But how cool is it that we can be in a community where you can do stuff that makes you so nervous and be so supported by those around you? So like,
cool.
think of the positive sides there.
Yeah. For sure. I love this.
All right. So for programming, a big thing I would like to really focus in on. We said that we're going. You want to start tapering off as you're going into the open.
Yep.
So what does that look like? What days should you start tapering off on? Talk me through that a little bit. Like start from Monday and tell me what my schedule should look like.
Yeah, so you'll see over the next 3 weeks, we'll touch the barbell some because we want to make sure your central nervous system is primed for moving things, but not like overly fatigued. So you'll see a little bit shorter strength, maybe a longer Metcon in the beginning of the week, and then starting to taper down the intensity and reps towards like Wednesday. Okay. So by the time you get to Wednesday, your intensity, you want to taper down a little bit. The workout won't be like insanely long. And then Thursday will be a full active recovery day. So come do our active recovery. We're going to work on some skills too that might show up in the open. But at that point, it's nothing high intensity on Thursday.
Yes.
So.
Now, should people still be moving on Thursday? Or like, do you want them sitting on the couch?
Eating your
prepping? Yeah. Staring at the Michelob Ultra.
Yeah. I'll get back to you on Saturday. But yes. Yeah, you should move. I mean, for me personally, I just feel better when I move.
I do too.
So I think that there's a little bit of science to that too. You don't want to treat it like another workout necessarily, but something to get your blood flowing, flush out some lactic acid, promote the recovery. Like I said, we're going to work on skills. So maybe you're like fine tuning some things you've been working on that could show up in the open. But yeah, I think it's good to move.
I do too. Yeah. Yep. And I like that you brought up the central nervous system. Like I think it's good to remember that, you have to prime your body in so many different ways, mentally, physically, all of that. So being in here, being around other people, especially if you're nervous. If you're nervous, come talk to people because I promise you, you're not the only one.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think there's a lot of reasons to make sure you come in the gym on Thursday and get moving at least a little bit.
Yes, for sure. And I think you'll feel way better than just sitting around.
Yeah. And then on Wednesday, when we talk about tapering off the reps, the weight, stuff like that, if you're maybe not quite sure like what that means, remember to ask your coach. Like I think every coach here has done the open at least a couple of times.
Yeah.
And so you can, ask questions, see what you're supposed to be doing, how intense you're supposed to be going. But I think basically everyone's going to be doing the open, so
Yeah.
whether they like it or not.
Yeah. We're doing it on Friday,
Yeah.
so.
But I think most people are going to be preparing to do the open.
Yeah,
so you'll be able to,
yeah.
if any of that doesn't make sense, you'll be able to follow along on Wednesday when you come in.
Yeah, that's the point of our programming over the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We want to keep you prepared, but not crush you.
Yes.
So then you feel fresher, but still like moving and not like you're in a off season or something.
Yeah.
You're primed.
And then after you do your open workout, I know we always harp on, I've heard you in classes, I know I say it in classes, find time to cool down. It is, again, central nervous system. It is good to let your body know that it can go into recovery. It helps recover faster and better. And so make sure you're taking that time after your open workout because priming starts the day after for the next week.
Yeah.
So once you finish on Friday, you start priming to start the next week.
Yeah, even at the end of that class, to cool down. You hear me say that all the time. So if you, even just a couple minutes can make a difference.
Absolutely.
And better prepare you for the next class. And so if it just takes a couple minutes, then definitely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Is that it?
I think that, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go on. The sign up for the open Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern time. I think they announced the workout.
Yes.
So you'll be able to know it then. And then we'll have a class plan for you on Friday. Morning classes will be normal. Friday will be kind of like heat style. It won't be like your typical hour-long classes. You'll sign up for a heat to do the workout, and it'll just kind of flow through the night.
Mm-hmm.
So, and make sure when you do it, put your score in, because Tracy has to go through and validate it for the gym, and that'll make sure it gets recorded for you.
Yes.
If anybody wants to take the judges course, we always need judges.
Well, fun fact. So we're going to be separating everyone, like we talked about, we're going to be separating everyone into teams, and you will be getting points for your workouts, but you will also be getting additional points, and we are going to have an additional point for anyone who goes and gets their judges course this first week. Yes.
Good.
So go do your judges course. It does cost $10, but it helps so much understanding the standards of movement, and so that way when you're doing the workout in front of the judge, you already have a base of understanding what that movement standard is.
Yes.
So it is good homework to do. It's a great investment, but you will be getting extra points if you go and do that judges course.
Yeah.
So.
And everybody wants to win. You want to be a winner.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Is there anything else? Anything for the good of the group?
No, I think that's it. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
It'll be a
Let's
fun
do it.
time. All right.
Good
Got
job.
another one done.